Welcome to the Perham Show. I'm speaking with Tamara Usselman, who is the superintendent for District 549, the Perham Dent School District. Welcome.
Thank you, Patty.
We are going to talk about the levy today, and we are going to talk about what you would like to talk about, Tamara. I'd like to hear from you what things that you feel continue to need addressing, like perhaps what will happen if the referendum doesn't go through.
Thank you for the chance to talk about that. I think people deserve to know on this levy what their levy dollars would buy. And there are some very serious things that will be protected with a levy and lost without one. Probably the first and foremost, with no levy, we are looking at losing 12 teaching positions over 2 years because we'll have to cut approximately $1 million. When we lose 12 teaching positions, it's a hardship on the students because class size increases. And I'm really concerned about the middle 50 in the class. The kids who catch on quickly and easily are going to be fine. The kids who are protected under the special education umbrella will be okay. But it's that middle group of kids that really become the backbone of society. I worry about them. Often with the right intervention and a small enough class size where the teacher can work with them, those students are incredibly successful. They can go to technical colleges, they can go to military colleges or right into the military, they can go to a liberal arts college and stand toe-to-toe with anybody from anywhere. That's our goal. So I fear with increased class size, some of those children will really lose an opportunity for a lifetime.
Well, and teachers are being called to do so much more besides teaching, really besides active classroom teaching now, that would become even more pronounced, I would think, if you have fewer teachers.
It just simply would. There's no way around it. When you, in the high school, for example, we've tried to keep class sizes to the low 30s, although we have had classes, core academic classes at 35, 37. We had one class of 57.
Wow.
And yeah, so
you're talking college, lecture halls and stuff at that point.
Mm-hmm. And these are, these children are 15, 16, 17 years old. They aren't college age. So I fear that. Another thing that we're looking at is losing our 5-day kindergarten program, charging for bus rides, cutting our cleaning staff at a time when I really don't feel we can afford to lose any more help in that arena, just simply with building cleanliness issues and health issues that are facing us. So this levy will protect the academic core classroom, and without it, we will lose big time there.
Well, you're talking about academic core classroom. What about what some people, and I say is strongly, some people think of extraneous things like the art program. We visited with Laura Moe, and I know there have been cuts there. Those are not considered core programs.
They're considered academic programs. Core programs, I'm glad you asked that. That's reading or English, mathematics, social studies, and science. The classes in the next outside ring, the academic courses that aren't considered core but are really vital to a child's education, art, industrial technology, business education, music, those face cuts as well, and pretty phenomenal cuts. So we cheat children on that end. I think a lot of people, me included, would tell you that art is basic.
Yes.
And there's a deep value in industrial technology courses and in home economics, the family consumer science. So all of those things are under the gun as well, but it will go even past them into the core class sizes.
Well, I know that we've talked in the past about E12, early childhood, and going. The early childhood programs are relatively safe right now. They're not affected by the levy, or
they aren't impacted by the levy. They're as safe as they've ever been, which is not safe because they aren't funded by the state. So our early childhood program, which I think is phenomenal, and I think is one of the strongest ones because we partner with Head Start, we partner with our special education cooperative, and with the school district, and we serve all children in the same setting in a really comprehensive preschool. That has to cash flow on its own. So it's under constant duress, but it is something outside the levy.
Okay.
Taxpayer levy money for this school levy, I should say it that way, wouldn't support the early childhood program. That's a separate category.
Well, let's come back. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll actually talk money. So stick with us. Welcome back to the Perham Show. I'm speaking with Tamara Usselman, and we're talking about the levy referendum that's coming up on November 3rd. I know, Tamara, that you have had a lot of public meetings, and you've offered to visit with people if they, up to November 1st, if they still would like somebody to come and visit with them, so they could just call the school if they need more information. But let's talk about the nuts and bolts, the money part of it. What would this mean to a resident or homeowner?
Sure, we can do that. I would be most willing to come and talk with people at any time, any place. My number is 218-346-4501. And I always say, if you hear something that's too awful to be true, it probably isn't true. So give me a call, check out the facts. I'm not bothered by the hard questions. I like them. One of the hard questions always is, what will this cost me? Mm-hmm. And I do understand that a levy is one of the only times a taxpayer can say no, because in other categories, their taxes can be raised by the county or by the city without permission. So we need to go out for permission, and because of that, we really need to be crystal clear in what we're asking for and what it will cost, both in terms of dollars and what it will save in terms of the classroom. So this levy, our auditor told us, is one of the smallest ones he knows of. It's $395 per student, and it's for 3 years. The shorter time period will allow us to see if the state can find its way out of its own financial mess and properly fund schools. The state hasn't been able to keep up with inflationary increases. The state took over school funding in 2003, and it worked well when the state had a surplus budget, but since then they just simply haven't been able to do what they promised to do. And when that happens, it becomes a local issue. When no one else takes care of things, sometimes it's up to us. And so we do need to go out to the voters and say, is this something that's valuable enough to you, this investment for our future, for our children, for the people who'll be pushing our wheelchairs, I always say. And there is some misunderstanding when I say $395 a student. People think that's $395 in their own house, and that's not true. Or if they have 2 students, they double that and say, well, that's $800. That's not true at all. It's spread out amongst all of the homestead taxpayers and the businesses. So if you own a $150,000 home, this levy will cost you $103 a year. And one of our students calculated that to be about 28 cents a day. Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, it is people's 28 cents. It's their own 28 cents. And the question I have to try and explain is it worth it? And I think it really is. It's a small levy for a short time period that really will save our school. Without it, quite frankly, Patty, in 2 years, people won't recognize the school. It will be a fundamentally different place, more like a factory, and we'll just simply educate kids less well. That's the bottom line.
Wow. Those are hard facts.
Those are hard facts, and it's extraordinarily difficult to say, but if I were a taxpayer not associated with the school and someone didn't tell me about both the financial cost and the real value of this levy and things fell apart, I'd be deeply angry. And I think people deserve to know how serious it is, and it is that serious.
Well, I know that you have been working for years and years to build this phenomenal school district that we have, and the kids are wonderful, and the programs, and it continues to be a wonderful school district. And so we hope that will continue, and that people will vote right away. They don't need to wait. I know we've just got a few minutes, but if you'd just like to touch on not waiting in lines or not coming from, late at night on the 3rd.
Yeah, the community of Perham has built a really good school district, and I always say I'm lucky to work here, and I love this school district and what it stands for. People do need to weigh in on this question. You can either vote at the PAC on the 3rd, okay, or you can vote absentee ballot in the district office in person, or request an absentee ballot to be mailed to you.
And again, that phone number, Tamara?
218-346-4501. Thank
Very
you.
Good. So if you have questions on how to vote absentee, how to vote early, or if you'd like more information on the impact to homeowners or businesses by passing the levy or not passing the levy, give a call over to Tamara Usselman, Superintendent at Perham Dent Public Schools. And thank you for tuning in to the Perham Show today.